What's up, Dave here. Guess what I got for you today? We're going to do a budget build. It's going to be an all AMD budget build for under 600 bucks. Stay tuned for the end of the video where I'm going to show you some gameplay footage and show you how many frames per second this thing can get for 600 bucks. Let me start off by telling you what I got. I got an AMD chip. This is the third generation 3600 AMD 5. We're going to put that in there. We got an AMD RX 6600, the 8 gig. We got an Asus TUF motherboard, the A520 motherboard, A520M Plus motherboard with Wi-Fi in it. We got an EVGA power supply, 550. And we got this nice little white tempered glass case here. It's an off-brand case, but it's going to work nice for what we want to do, so we can stay within our budget of under 600 bucks. Still get great frames per second at 1080p. Let's put this thing together. We got 2 sticks of DDR4, 16 gigs. And this is RGB. So let's go ahead and pop these in. Okay, when we pop these in, we want to make sure we put these Make sure we get them going in right. Get them in. Take the second one. Want to get this popped in. Make sure we get that nice little click sound. There we go. There's the memory. Now let's go ahead and put our M.2 drive in. We're going to be using M.2 from Team Group. It's 512 gigabytes. Let's go ahead and pop this in. Just going to slot this in right here. Little push. And then we just have to screw it down. Let's go ahead and get this screwed down. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and get our CPU on. Now let's just go ahead and lift up this little arm right here. Make sure you line up your arrows on your chip. Make sure it's seated down in there nice. And we can close that up and we're good to go. Alright. Now basically I'm going to use the stock fan. Comes with the AMD Ryzen 5 3600. Not going to draw a lot of heat, so that'll work out great. Let's pull these off. Type of bracket. There we go. And this fan already has thermal paste on it, so we're good to go. CPU fan header connection is right over here. Let's put that on. Alright, got this on. Go and connect the CPU fan. Okay. Let's get this secured down. Okay, we got our CPU fan on, we got our memory in, we got our M.2 connected. Let's go ahead and get this thing inside the case. Alright, let's go ahead and get our power supply in. Now that we got the motherboard in already, put this off to the side. Fans on the bottom, so we want that on the bottom. And this is going to fit it very nicely. See, here we go. Get our screws and get this screwed down. Now that we got everything put together, let's go ahead and get our last piece in, our video card, and we can see if this thing boots up and works. There you go. Got that little sound. I can tie these back. Alright, there we go. Now, let's do a little bit of cable management, and then we can fire this thing up. Let's see if this thing fires up. Ooh, that's a good sign. Now let's just wait to see if we get anything on the screen here. And there we go. Voila. So now let's go ahead and load Windows on here. I'm going to load a couple of games on here. And we're going to see how well this $100 budget build AMD computer plays. Be right back. Okay, here I'm playing Horizon Dawn, the original one on PC. I have it on ultra settings right now, and I'm getting 75 frames per second. Right now I'm using a monitor, a 1080p monitor that only allows up to 75 frames, but I'm getting close to max frames on this. 68 frames is dropping a little bit, but I mean, this is really good for this PC. You can see how smooth it's running, and you have really no issues with it whatsoever. Okay, now I'm going to change the settings. Now we're running on high settings instead of ultra, and we got a little boost in our frames per second, running 83, 82 right now. So that's pretty good. Up to their usual standard. Okay, now I have Miles Morales in, and for some reason this game seems to be stuck at 60 frames per second. Right now it's on ultra settings. I'm gonna have to play around with it to get it off to 60 frames per second, but it's maxed out at 60 frames per second. And you can see how smooth the game is running. I'll let you watch a little bit of the gameplay. I'm just basically swinging here. I'm gonna run up the wall, but looking good. Okay, now I have Division 2. This right here is actually on high settings, and we're getting 75 frames per second. Like I said, the monitor maxes out at 75 frames per second, and it pretty much stays at 75 frames per second, which makes me think that it can do even better than the 75 frames that we're getting. Once again, it's 1080p, 75 frames per second. And you check out the gameplay, it's running really smooth. And there's a lot of people on the screen, a lot of stuff happening, and it's staying consistent at 75 frames per second. And I'm gonna die. Okay, now this is again Division 2. I set it to ultra settings and it's still maxed out at 75 frames per second. It drops a little bit, but for the most part, it's staying in between 70 and 75 frames per second on ultra settings.
All of you that were treated like animals on Roosevelt Island, I swear, the outcasts will burn every last one of those responsible.
Just waiting for the guys to come out behind me. There's the key. Alright, mission complete.
Progress halted. To all the true sons, JTF, and division agents listening to this broadcast.
Progress resumed.
Oh, wait a second. Mission not complete. That was half the mission was complete. Now, mission complete. Now this is Dying Light 2. And I start off on medium settings. And basically I just ran the benchmark. And you can see in their benchmark settings, I'm pretty much getting 75 frames per second. The cutscenes drop, but other than that, it's maxing out at 75 frames per second. And once again, that's at 1080p.
What's that there?
And with the stock fan, CPU fans, we're getting 61 degrees Celsius, which is fine.
Elevator's got a plan to solve the water issue.
You shouldn't be messing with the PK.
So we stayed consistent all the way through this benchmark at 75 frames per second. Now I'm switching the settings and now we're on high settings. And once again, you'll see it pretty much stays consistent at 75 frames per second, which makes me think it can do a lot more if I had my other monitor connected. So here's the ultra settings, and as you can see, it's pretty much staying at 75 frames per second.
Inhibitor container detected.
So overall, I would say for $600, this is an excellent gaming computer. I mean, you really can't beat that. It looks good. It runs good. I mean, what else can you ask for? And that's almost the same price as an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, $100 more. And you can do a lot more with it.
Inhibitor container detected.
I get nervous when it's so quiet.
You ain't walking out of here. Calm down.
If you found this video helpful in any way, don't forget to subscribe. Brand new channel, trying to grow, help me out. Also drop a like.